Project Alpha is done.
Project Alpha is done.
Yo, Kippy Sky here. Hey, so welcome to part 4 and potentially the final part of Project Alpha. What we're doing now is kind of finishing it all off. In the Lexus, I had a component system because in the Lexus, you had a mid-range and a tweeter inside the dash, and then you had the low bass woofer inside the door panel. In this car, you don't have that mid-range speaker. It's just tweeter and then the door speaker. So I'm not utilizing those 3-inch mid-ranges, but I am going to be utilizing the crossover. So my system consists of CT Sounds, their Mezzo series, a fantastic, phenomenal component set. And this is the crossover that goes with it. I've already put one in the car, but I wanted to show you guys what this is all about. So you have input, woofer, mid-range, and tweeter. So the input section is what goes from your amplifier up to the input section of the crossover. And then from here is where you connect the speakers you're going to be using. So for me, I'm using the woofer and I'm using the tweeter. So my speakers won't be connected to the amp directly. The only thing connected to the amp is the input section of this crossover. And then my speakers will be connected to this, which kind of directs traffic, tells what frequencies to go where. Inside of here, I can change the mid-range and tweeter plus or minus 3 dB if I want to tailor it to my sound. I'm leaving them on flat or 0 because I can control it with the audio control DM608 processor. So I've already swapped out the tweeter in the dash. So this is what you get in the doors and in the dash in the Alfa Romeo, Stelvio, and Giulia. This is a small 20 watt 4 ohm tweeter here, which actually doesn't sound too bad. It's a soft dome tweeter, not bad at all. But I really love the sound of folk house tweeters here. So I took this out of my Lexus, and I had this in my Lexus aftermarket. I took it out and now I'm putting it in the Alfa Romeo. This is a very buttery sounding tweeter. So I've actually already done that. Let me take you to the car and show you what I've did. So this is the dash tweeter taken out. Same thing for this one. There's one of these in the middle, and the tweeter is a 1-inch soft dome tweeter. So is the folk house, so it fits right back into this slot. So I'm just taking these out. They're kind of snug in by these little clips. You can press the clips and take this out pretty easily, and then I'm just tucking the factory wire back in so that if I ever want to revert back, that it's a simple click right back into place. Now I was kind of nervous because I couldn't figure out how to get my wire from up here to down here to feed it back. But I realized I didn't have to. In the Lexus, I had to drop it down. There's a hole straight down from here to the floor, so I could just pull it through. But in this vehicle, this panel, which most vehicles do, this panel just pops out. So do this in one hand. Very easy panel to get off. And this actually has a hole right to the tweeter, so I can just feed my wire through here. Now this is temporary. I just have this plugged up to the door just to make sure that it works. I will actually run it through the grommet here today, but now I can run my tweeter wire right down through here and it falls right through here, and my crossover is going to go right there. I'll show you the other side of the car because I've already done that. So if I go over here to the driver's side, you guys can see this panel's open. This wire goes straight to the tweeter right on down, and then there's a little hole that allows me to get right here where my crossover is mounted. I decided to put it here so I can easily service it, replace it, I can upgrade it, whatever I want to do, and I can still put my foot there with no problem, and it just tucks away behind these panels, so it'll look nice and clean. And like I said, I'll run this through the grommet now that I'm able to get here, and now that I know how to get through here, I'll run it through the factory pathways. But it's an easy setup. This is the easiest part of this setup. I will say this car was not meant to be modified or upgraded audio wise. It does not like it because the way I had to get these speakers off, the clips, it's just difficult, super difficult. And the battery being back here kind of makes some parts easier, some parts harder. The amplifier is tucked well under the dashboard, so this was not meant to be upgraded, at least not easily. They wanted you to go up and get the Harman Kardon system instead of making your own system, but I found a way. So, but this was not meant to be modified. It's very difficult to do, but it's going to be very rewarding because the sound level that I'm going to get in this car is going to be fantastic. So stay tuned for that. Everything is hooked up. I've done all 4 door speakers, and I swapped out all tweeters to the Focal tweeters because they sound better. So the full system is in place, and here's what we landed with. Let's do a little recap if you didn't watch the full 4-part series. So part 1 was taking apart the Lexus build that I had in this car and kind of going to part 2, blueprinting, figuring out where everything is going to go. Once we blueprinted, kind of put everything where I think it went, we ended up routing wires to door speakers, tapping into the factory system, and then in part 3 we got the audio control processor and showed you guys how you can take a factory system and make it a high tier aftermarket system with the audio control processor. So part 4 now is the finished product here. So I decided that I wanted to go plexiglass again, but not as crazy as I did in the Lexus, but of course you can still see the amplifiers. I may make a little template just to hide, some of the spaghetti down here, but kind of show off just the amplifier. All my amps and everything are under there, and the sub kind of just floats over top of it because these hold it into place. So this is a Sundown ZV6, if you guys don't know, and a custom box tuned to 25 hertz, and it pounds in this car. The stock alternator is 180 amps, and it holds voltage really good. So I'm actually not too keen to or inclined to upgrade the alternator really quickly. It seems to hold up just fine with just this one battery in the back. So really liking it. So all dash speakers are done, all door speakers are done, and then the sub is now in. So this is a final product. When the car is on, it does light up. You guys saw it in the video. Lights up under there. KP Sky lights up here, so that when the trunk is closed, when you're riding behind me, you can actually see the KP Sky logo glowing in rainbow colors. It's really neat. And of course, the TVs that are in the seats, you can kind of see them too. So Project Alpha was a success. It was very difficult, but even with the factory speakers still in place, they sound incredible with how I've tuned them. I tried to put the CT sound speakers back into this car, but the magnet is so deep, the motor is so deep on those speakers that it wouldn't clear the door. So I'm using factory speakers for now, but I have tuned them in a way they truly sound fantastic. So stay tuned for other videos. When I demo this car, I played it for my coworkers, and I'll play it for my boss, and they think I'm insane for all this bass, but it really is a high quality SPL and sound quality system. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't seen the first 3 parts, make sure you go back and watch the playlist called Project Alpha. If you want to see the Lexus build that when I did it 4 years ago, go back and watch Project Lexus. It's a really cool, really fun build. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next video. KP Sky out. Peace.